Hi everybody, hope everyone's good. Happy Friday, whatever day it is, wherever you are. Just wanted to check in, send lots of love and hugs. Just really going on from yesterday. That because I didn't actually cover half of the stuff that I found out yesterday, and I'm gonna be going on a break, only because the next 3 weeks are crazy. I've got this challenge next week, and then 10 days after that I've got a woman leadership thing. So, and I've got so many business projects I'm working on at the moment, and I would need to have my entire focus and attention in every waking moment on those to get them done, to get this done. So I will be doing what I usually do in terms of making notes and getting all the information, etc. I just won't be live every day necessarily for the next 3 weeks, just because I need to get this done. But just going on from yesterday, because I haven't seen what the vote is yet. I'm a bit scared to look, because if people have voted for Conservatives after this year, then it is official. The UK has lost the plot. For real. And I'll go into that in a moment. But to do this whole, and I don't want to trigger anybody, because I need to talk about it because it's a massive problem. So in the videos, if you might not have watched it, because they're hard to watch. Let's be honest, it is hard to talk about and to watch and understand documentaries about people that abuse children. It is. I was triggered all day yesterday. But in one of those videos, there was an arrest made in Cambodia, and it was a 50-year-old British ex-government aide, 50-year-old, and he was about to have sex with a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And it wasn't the first time he'd been arrested for doing that same thing in Cambodia. And they even had him on camera, that gentleman. And I don't know why I'm calling him a gentleman, because he's an absolute scumbag. And I wouldn't even say human at this point. I think they're demons. So, and because he knows the law that well, and because he's an ex-government aide, he was just being plain cocky with the police. He was making up false names. Well, obviously they knew his name because they've arrested him previously for the same thing. But obviously he knows people in high places to get away with it. Now, then there's another video, and I'm not sure if I put this one in the link. And this is back in 2016. A girl brought a case against Trump and Jeffrey Epstein for rape when she was 13. And we all know that Trump knew Epstein very well. They're all friends. Epstein, Maxwell, Trump, Clintons, and the royal family. So, and Nygaard, let's not forget him. So, I'm going to read you this. I'll put the link in. So the other video that I've got is I can't share the link to the video. I can share the link to the guy's page and put the title of the video, so you'd have to find it yourself, because it says it's copyrighted and that it's not to be shared as such, like via the link. But I can point you to the exact video, and it's her witness testimony, her recorded witness testimony about being raped by Trump and Epstein when she was 13. So this is on a page called Justice Integrity. New information has emerged in the joint Wayne Marsden Report Justice Integrity Project investigation of the Maria case. Maria was temporarily held for ransom in 1993, according to witnesses speaking to police. As we previously reported, Katie Johnson, and that's the Katie Johnson that's in this other video, alleged in federal lawsuits that Donald Trump and his friend, billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, raped her when she was 13 in New York City in 1994. Johnson's alleged also that two other men raped a 12-year-old identified as Maria. Our investigation discovered that Maria was abducted from Waterbury, Connecticut in March 1993 when she was 11. Eventually, Maria ended up at parties at Midtown Manhattan townhouse owned by Epstein. Friend Les Wexner, owned by Epstein billionaire's friend, Les Wexner, where underage girls were allegedly sexually assaulted regularly by Trump and Epstein. We previously reported, including via the graphic at the right, showing the mansion and file photos of Trump and Epstein, that Maria's kidnappers were involved in a child trafficking ring that provided abductees to wealthy individuals like Trump and Epstein. Lawyers for Trump and Epstein have sought to deny or otherwise downplay the claims. Our information is that Maria was reported missing by her late mother to Waterbury police in March 20 of 1993. However, Maria was actually abducted the previous day, March 19th, and authorities said, creating a gap between the kidnap and the mother's report of it to authorities. I've also got another link here to another story. Donald Trump, Playboy model, and the system of concealing infidelity from 2018. Her account of clandestine meetings, financial transactions, and legal pacts designed to hide the extramarital affairs. Carry on. Maria was last seen on March 19th by a young girl in the predominantly Puerto Rican neighborhood. The girl said she saw Maria talking to a man who turned out to be Colombian national known as Papito, which means little daddy. Later, the man claimed that he once lived in Maria's neighborhood, but he was not in Waterbury at the time of the alleged conversation with Maria. The Waterbury Police Department person report states that Maria was last seen outside of Nash's Peace, a corner eatery located in the neighborhood where she lived with her mother and stepfather. We've previously reported on the case of Waterbury Mayor Phil Giordano, an aspiring national Republican leader who ran in 2000 for US Senate against Democratic incumbent Joseph Lieberman, who was concurrently running for vice president. Giordano also had GOP vice presidential ambitions. Giordano is shown below in the far right in a photo with John Rowland, who was also who was another Waterbury Republican and future convict of corruption. Giordano was arrested in 2001 and charged with repeated sexual assault of female minors aged 8 and 10. Some of the assaults took place in the mayor's office. Who else knew about it? Others occurred in his official car. Who else knew about it? Through a local prostitute with a drug habit, Giordano would arrange tryst with the hooker's daughter and niece on days when the mayor knew they were not in school. I haven't read down this far yet. Maria also experienced high absenteeism from her Chase Elementary in Waterbury, 49 days in 1992, 20 days, up until her abduction in March of that year. At the time of Maria's abduction, Giordano, shown in the mugshot below, was a state representative, people. As in the case today, Waterbury in 1993 had a major problem with drugs, particularly in the Puerto Rican community. The investigation of Maria's abduction was by the members of the Waterbury Police Narcotics Unit. We have discovered that detectives with both the Youth Division and Narcotics Units were interested in reports that cash loans for purchase of drugs involved adult individuals in Maria's circle, relatives and family friends. Further, there were reports of ransom demanded that apparently made by Maria's kidnappers with two separate figures. The ransom information was passed from police to vice principal of the middle school. The vice principal obtained information from students at the school who knew Maria's family. Officially, the case has no further leads. However, Katie Johnson, this is the Donald Trump one, lawsuits against Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, which mentioned Maria as an alleged underage rape victim of both men, have lit a fire under the very old case. As one curiosity, Representative Matt Gaetz was the lone no vote in the US House of Representatives, December 19, 2017, on an anti-human trafficking bill that had unanimously passed the Senate in the September. He was the only one that didn't want it. Gates' pictures left in 2008, driving under the influence. He is shown right in his official photo of Congress representing Walton Beach region in his state far west panhandle. Gates has emerged as the chief congressional critic of Department of Justice Special Counsel Robert Mueller, who was alerted to the Katie Johnson and Maria story by anti-trafficking activists. What a surprise. To reward Gates, Trump has invited the first-term congressman to accompany him. I wonder where, to do what, with who. So I'm going to put that in there. They're all at it. Keep, like, the levels. Fucking levels. No wonder they ain't been catching no one. They're the ones doing it. No wonder they haven't been putting the money in to catch them, because they're the ones doing it. If you think about it, think of all the money the printing money, and they're giving 50 cents per trafficked child. That's all they are giving to find them, free them, and catch the traffickers. Yeah, 50 cents. That's the value that they've put on children's lives, on our children's lives. And they're putting how many billions into nuclear weapons, and how many billions into stuff that we don't need or want, that won't actually achieve anything, but just mates, giving mates what they want. 50 cents. That's what your child would be worth if someone came one day and took them from you. They ran away and they were caught by a trafficker and put into sex slavery at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's even one as young as 8 months old. I'm not even going to joke. And then at that point, they'll be raped 20 to 30,000 times over the next 5 years of their life, as they're passed from one to another in this elite paedophile ring that is quite evident to everyone everywhere exists, because the evidence is there to say it does. So 50 Cent, that's what your government is putting on. That was probably even so rare. I can't even find any, so that probably means that they're probably worth nothing then. They've got no value to our government. They haven't got any, they don't care. It's just something to think about, isn't it? Oh man, I'm waiting. If it was your kid, what would you do if it was your kid? And that is what that is how little they care. Sorry. My brain's just gone into a rage mush. Right, so there was this thing I watched yesterday. I'm just trying to find it now. Oh, where was it? Let me just find it here. It's about solfeggio tones. So I'm trying to go back to my Zen zone. All of our cells, you know, they actually vibrate. They vibrate at frequency, and this is a scientific fact. I'm not just, plugging that out there. And I actually mentioned it. I've mentioned it a couple of times in terms of there's frequency machines. One's called a scalar machine, and then I mentioned that one the other day that was in the light paper. Oh, I'll find it in a minute. I've already shared a link to it, and this is where, we have like an optimum frequency basically, that our cells, organs should be vibrating at. And you can have your body scanned, and then if you're not vibrating wherever at that optimum frequency, these machines can pump that's not the right word, is it? They can basically send back the right frequency to balance you up to the optimum frequency, optimum vibration, and it actually has health benefits. This is scientifically proven, promise. I'm going to share the research on this, because this scalar machine, it's called Spooky Scalar, probably weird choice of title to be honest, but it is, if you read through the reviews of this machine, anyone can buy one. You can buy one and then give treatments to other people, and it heals. And people are going to look at it like, it's alternative therapy. Listen. Do your research. Yeah. Scientists, those beautiful people We all know that scientists are amazing, but it really depends on whose hands that invention or creation is in. Because Dr. Mengele of Hitler times, well, he was straight demon, wasn't he? So and also Hitler created the atomic, like, you know what I mean? So it's really reminds whoever I suppose it just depends on what you like as a person, and if you're using that knowledge for good or for bad. Science is no different, because chemistry has created lots of amazing things, but it's also created poisons. But this is probably not so well known, because it will mean that Big Pharma won't be able to make no money off us if we're healthy. So they're going to poo-poo on it. But actually, if you read all the reviews, and you actually read the science of the frequency and vibration of our bodies on a cellular level, it makes sense that it would work, and there's lots of research on it. So it cures cancers, it cures all sorts of serious health issues. So I'll put that in again. I'm just trying to find the and it goes even back to as far as Tesla. Tesla was talking about Nikola Tesla. Yeah. And Edison. You know, Edison, yeah? He was famous for having naps, right? And he created in his lifetime 2,300 patents for different inventions, right? And what he used to do, and Nikola Tesla was Thomas Edison's apprentice. And what he used to do is, because there's different brainwave frequencies, there's alpha, beta, theta, delta, I think. So alpha's like waking, beta's like resting, can't remember which way theta and delta go. The one is sort of half asleep, and then the next one is like sleep. And what Thomas Edison said is that when he sort of discovered over time was that he would go to sleep, and when he'd wake up, he'd have a new idea. So, and he's not the only one that did this. Einstein did this. So what he used to do, what they all do, these historical inventors. I bet you Elon does it. I'm no doubt about it. Right? I'm just trying to find something to do it with. I can't. So what they do is they'd go to sort of fall asleep, but they'd hold something. So Thomas Edison used to hold a metal ball, like a mini crystal ball. And he'd sit on a chair, like a rocking chair, and he'd have an iron plate on the floor. So what he'd do is he'd kind of let himself drift off to sleep. And then if he was about to go into deep sleep, obviously he would drop the ball, it would hit on the pan, and he'd wake himself up. And every single time he'd have a new idea. Because he was dipping from waking brain frequency, and dipping into sleep frequency, which is where he's getting all his imagination and his ideas from, and then he'd wake himself up straight away. And Einstein used to do the same thing. And I need to read you these quotes from Tesla because they're just very interesting. And I love interesting facts. Here we go. So let me just find this now. This was called Video Advice. Hold on. This is from a guy called Vishen. I can't pronounce this. I'm not going to do it. Embarrass myself. He basically runs a company called Mind Valley, and Mind Valley is an app you can download on your phone, and it has access to thousands of teachers, courses, masterclasses on all things that make you feel better, make you be better, gives you greater understanding on life. So it's things like, it's things like meditation, yoga, understanding your mind, understanding just your body. There's loads of different things about journaling, how to live your best life. People are going to poo-poo on it, but fuck them. Yeah. At this time right now, Mind Valley's the place to be at. It's just give you loads of people that all they're going to do is try and give you, beneficial advice to make you feel better. Right, so this is video advice. It's him talking about it. It says it's a highly expensive procedure, the billionaire's method. That's what it's called. Right. So he pays. So I was describing the Thomas Edison, Einstein, which is where he actually fall asleep with. That you can now pay. You can pay to have to go through that same experience, going from one brainwave to another brainwave to get ideas. There's technology for that. There's technology to speed up the process of going from that frequency to that frequency to get more ideas quicker. Billionaires use it. Mad, isn't it? And he actually in this video, he shows. I'm just trying to get the quotes from it mainly because they're actually really important. But Nikola Tesla, he was obviously designed about frequency and energy and stuff. And that's it. Beta, alpha, theta, delta. Apparently theta is where you get all your ideas from. Where was I going? Nikola Tesla. Yeah, he created. There's a frequency. I shared this with someone yesterday. There's a frequency 528 hertz. It's important because there's different frequencies that can do different things to your body as well. But 528 hertz is apparently the healing frequency, and they used it in when there was a huge oil spill. When yeah, was it off the coast of Mexico? I've got a video on this as well. So they basically, obviously, remember how bad it was? And it was everywhere, and all the animals were covered in it, and it was just covered like the most amounts. There's a documentary about this couple that have a huge, I guess, antenna. Must be an antenna. And they were called because, someone in, one of the high up environment agencies had seen, obviously they were desperate, and they were like, right, what are we going to do to clean this up? This is disaster. So they obviously found this couple some way, somehow, and they came out with their huge antenna and all of these power banks, and they sent radio waves. They sent this 528. This actual facts. 528 healing frequency into the water. They left it for 24 hours. They came back and the oil had gone in that area. That's straight facts. How crazy is that? And apparently, 528 is just one of many of these. They're called solfeggio tones. And apparently they have healing effects on our cells, again, frequency, on a cellular DNA level. And there's research on this as well. I did not know this. Did you know this? I'm absolutely fascinated. So I've since found loads of information on solfeggio tones. And actually, if you look on YouTube, there's loads of meditations, and they'll say the hertz after it. And I never really thought to look at it until now. So there's a God one. Apparently, there's a God frequency. I think that's 928. There's several. So I'm going to put all in about that, because if music, I find music healing anyway, but I never really thought about it on I just like music and it makes me feel better. But what if it is that? What if it is the actual frequency of the music that is doing something to the frequency of my cells? Because that's on the basis of the research that says that that's what it does. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Because I've listened to music non-stop for the last year, in between like audiobooks and stuff and other things, obviously. And I listen to it all during the night as well. I wonder if that is maybe it is. Research would say so. So I'm going to put all of that good stuff in, because if it can help me, it can help everybody. And I was going to read you these quotes, but it's taking too long to load, sorry. So I'm going to put all of that in. But wouldn't that be magical if just music itself was healing, but like actually on a cellular level, which is what the science says it is? Awesome. So yeah, big up the music fam. Oh, I just think that's cool. Right. So got low. I'm going to put all of the rest of the links in that I didn't put in yesterday. There are quite a few. Obviously, I'll put into the thing about Trump and Epstein and all of that jazz. People need to know about this. It's like, particularly ones that are going, "Oh, Trump's amazing." Is he? Is he? Is he though? I did not know this either. Big up, everybody everywhere. You know when you're like, every day I'm like, wow, I did not know that. Every day is a school day. I this is my ignorance. I'd heard about Jim Crow, but I didn't know what it was. I did not know what it was. It wasn't what I thought. I don't even know what I thought it was, but I'd heard the name Jim Crow referenced various different things, but I did not know what it was. It's bloody horrific, isn't it? So I'm going to put this thing in, which explains what Jim Crow is. And I think as well, I think it's just, I genuinely don't understand how people can say, from what I've seen, that you know, oh, you know, racism isn't a problem anymore. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. No, because there's people that, what was her name? Anyone on Fox News, basically. Well, they're just nuts, aren't they? The Candace Owens. No, we're not institutionally racist. Right, I'm going to prove to you that you are, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I've got a couple of documentaries, and in fact, I don't need to prove it. Just watch this documentary here. An imperial fucking wizard of the Ku Klux Klan current will tell you that racism is a massive fucking problem. An imperial wizard. Is that what they call themselves? Wow. Crazy. Right, so we've got a program on Jim Crow and what that is and how that started and what it is in reference to. But that in itself, obviously, I don't know who else knows about it. I don't know anyone that knows what that is. But I guess we're over here and we wouldn't. But it's important that everyone knows what that is. And then there's this thing about, this is not that long ago, about current Ku Klux Klan members that are just quite freely talking about it. Unbelievable. So yeah, it's not just America, obviously. I've seen some other programs, some other documentaries, and there's a lot more of that kind of thing than I realised. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it would. I generally didn't think that it was as intense. Oh my god! I've got something else to tell you. So this goes back to, have you watched I've referenced this program before, but I forget the title of it every single bloody time. This is, again, was it 2016, 2017? This is a Netflix documentary program on Cambridge. Analytica. Right. So, everyone needs to watch this film if you have not watched this film. Docufilm. And it is called The Great Hack. It goes behind the scenes of Facebook data scandal. Now, this is important because it's in relation to the same time that Trump was getting elected was the same time as we were having our Brexit vote and Boris. All three used Cambridge Analytica as a tool to win. Now, that isn't. I'm not making that up. That's a fact, and you'll see that if you watch the program. Now, Cambridge Analytica was a British political consulting firm that came to prominence through Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal. It started in 2013 as a subsidiary of the private intelligence company and self-described global election management agency. Because anyone anywhere could hire them to use their technology to basically swing votes. That's essentially what it is. Using artificial intelligence, data intelligence, to swing and manipulate the masses to gain votes. Okay. So it's Global Management Agency, SCL Group, by long-time SCL advisors Nigel Oakes, Alexander Oakes. The company had close ties to the Conservative Party, the British royal family, and the British military. I've only just Google searched this because I've watched the programme. I did not know that. That makes so much sense. Oh, busted motherfuckers. Right, the firm maintains offices in London, New York City, and Washington, D.C. The company closed operations, however, in 2018 in the course of the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, although related firms still exist. So, methods. CA's data analysis methods were to a large degree based on the academic work of Michael Kosinski. Kosinski joined the Psychometrics Center of Cambridge Analytica, where he then developed with his colleagues a profiling system using online data, like Facebook likes and smartphone data. So what they basically did is, because Facebook is an absolute pimp of the masses, they just allowed this company to access all of our information, and still do. Every click you've ever made on the internet is somewhere recorded somewhere. So they basically have used all of our data points, of which, as you'll see from if you watch that program again now, they have at least 5,000 or something data points on each voting person. When I say data points, that could be any website you've ever looked at, any post you've ever liked, every comment you've ever made, every group you've ever joined, every single thing that you've done on the internet. They can use that information and profile you on the basis of that information. Every product you've bought, everything. Right? So once they've profiled you, that also then will tell them politically where you stand, what your opinions are, based on that, those based on all of that. And then they can put in front of you, specifically you, on your phone, on your social media page, as an individual, they can put before you and target you with adverts specifically to target your psychological stance where you are politically, to either make you more one way. So let's say if you are already, and this is how they achieve divide and conquer, because they're targeting you individually based on your personal opinions and everything you've bought and every page you've ever visited. And they're either going to make you go more one way, or if you're in the middle or you're an undecided, they're going to try and get you to think that way by putting before you adverts and products and things that will, trigger you to go that way, right? And that's what they actually did, and that's what is talked about in this movie, The Great Hack, because that's what they did. That's how they used the data, and in 2016 on these things. Trump, Boris, Brexit. Because if you think about now, what an absolute fuck up Brexit is. But I mean, we don't need to talk about Trump for 4 years because everyone knows how much hell that was. Let's just leave that. Similar for Boris. These people are corrupt as fuck, and they continue to be proven to be so on a daily basis. So we don't need to go. We know. And I haven't even checked the election results. I swear to God, if people have voted for Conservatives, they've lost their fucking mind. And this is why. Brexit. Let's go back to that time there. What were they playing on? What emotions? Because that's what they're doing. They're psychometrically testing you as an individual through your social media page. And then they are triggering you to go the way that they want. Because they're the ones paying for it. So they are going, but Trump is paid Cambridge Analytica. So did the Conservative Party for those two outcomes. That's what they're paying them for that outcome. Yeah, they pay them directly for the results. And that company has been proven to work. Cambridge Analytica was proven to work on this very thing in other countries around the world where they've essentially got dictators, dictators have paid them to get them into power. So they'd had success in all of these countries, and not for good people either. They clearly don't give a shit, or didn't, who it was they were working for, as long as they paid money over people, innit? So here we are, Brexit. So what were they doing? They were assessing everyone psychologically and then putting before them things that are going to trigger them to make votes to make them that way. And Brexit is an outright fuck up. It is a fuck up of gargantuan proportions. And if you ask people now, would they vote the same? I don't think they would, because not from the basis of what people are saying, because it's had such a detrimental effect on people's businesses, on logistics, on the borders, this is products going either way. Nothing's going nowhere fast. It's added so much more administration to everything on both sides of the UK and Europe. People aren't getting products either side. If they are, it's taking too long. There's tariffs on everything. It's costing businesses on this side thousands and thousands of pounds. They're having to employ extra people just to do the paperwork. It doesn't even make any sense anymore. And so it's just caused more headache, more heartache, more time, more risk, more cost. Just there is nothing good about it. And that's not even including the problems with the fisheries, the fighting over the water, the all of the expats that are in European countries are having a nightmare as well, because all of their we used to be able to flow freely from one to the other and live wherever you wanted. And a UK driving license would work in any European country. That doesn't apply anymore. So you can't drive unless it's a hire car. So these people that live there, that have bought cars, the only way that they can drive their own car is if they now have to take a test for their driving test in the country that they're residing in, and all of these extra costs and things that are just occurring. So there's nothing good about it whatsoever. And then you think about it, well, what was and I was going back through, what was the driving force of Brexit at the time? Do you know what it was? And it's something that Trump used as well. Immigration. Yeah, immigration. Migrant, refugees. And they used it. They both used it. And you know what that does? It rallies the racist, is what it does. Yeah, it rallies people who don't know. And I hate to say it, because I was watching a clip of somebody talk about this very thing the other day. And this was a clip of Brexit at the time in somewhere like Bolton. Love Bolton. This is nothing to do with Bolton. This was this one specific guy. And this one specific guy was going, I'm definitely voting for Brexit because, I want to get rid of all the immigrants. They come here and they take our jobs. Now, there's several things. One is, I don't think anybody that voted during Brexit would have actually looked into anything themselves. I'm pretty much confident. They would have just gone, like we were all at that time, believe in the mainstream media, just believe whatever these corrupt motherfuckers say. Yes, feed me with this false information, and I'll just nod like a good sheep. Now, so this guy, the way he was talking, it was like, I'm sorry, but you haven't got a fucking clue what you're talking about. Because migrants don't come here. Refugees don't come here to come and take our jobs. Yeah? They don't. And this is, they are escaping something. Listen. Yeah, I don't understand how people can't see that we've got a massive unemployed problem, as it is people on benefits, right? And that was before. People that and I've been on benefits, and I worked really fucking hard to try and do something myself because I didn't want to be on benefits. Yeah. So there are loads of people that are out of work, but there are also loads of jobs. There are loads of jobs. So then the question is, well, why aren't people doing the jobs that are there? Or why aren't they starting their own businesses? There is a disconnect there. And, people don't want to, there is this sort of air of people don't want to do jobs that are whatever they consider them to be, but they just don't want to do them. So then it forces companies to have to employ, because UK people won't do these UK jobs because they, for some reason, think it's, it's too much hard work or it's not enough money or whatever the reason is. Then it forces companies, and there's loads of instances of this. There's loads of instances. So the farming, farmers have got loads of jobs every year that they struggle to fill with people from the UK because nobody wants to do it. So they end up they recruit from European countries. So now people aren't coming, they see the difference. They want to stand there and go, they're taking our jobs. No, they aren't taking their jobs. They're doing jobs that nobody over here wants to do. And that is a fact. They want to work hard. They want to earn money, and they will do the job. If they're applying for a job and they get it, it's not because it's over somebody else. Those people aren't applying for the job in the first place. Don't put it out. Don't have a go at it. And people that are escaping war, escaping trafficking, escaping rape, escaping being bombed, escaping being shot, escaping the most horrific of circumstances. They have travelled on foot across miles, across countries, with children in hand, not eating for weeks on end, to get to a sea, to get on a dinghy that they might die on, that they then travel across and risk taking their entire family across the sea to get to a land that will accept them. And then if they go for a job and they get it, because nobody else from this country wants to do that job or can be bothered to work hard to do that job, that isn't on them. And that's what I'm saying. That is racist. And that's how they targeted people. They all did it. That's how they got into people's minds. Like, oh, there's loads of immigrants coming to this country. They're taking all our jobs. No, they ain't. First and foremost, you should care more about the humans escaping a really awful situation that are prepared to, as I say, starve en route, travel, war. We ain't at a war. We can't even bother to do jobs we've got in the country. Please. If we were being bombed right now, yeah, if this was World War II and we were trying to escape the country, to escape bombing with our family in tow, and you seriously telling me that you wouldn't, if you would not do whatever, firstly, you wouldn't do whatever you could to keep your family alive, keep your family together, and survive. You do whatever you could. If we were being bombed, if there was no food, if there was nothing, if it were literally in war scenario right now, you would travel on foot to get to the nearest place that would accept you, that would look after you, and then you would try and get a job, and you would get that job, and you would work hard to keep your family alive, to feed your family. What if you went there? What if this was in flip reverse? We went to Europe now. We were in war. We had to go on foot. We've got no clothes. We've got no food. There's no transport. We've got to walk now from wherever we live to the coast to try and find someone with a boat. Use our last amount of money if we have any, or otherwise maybe we'll, like they do in other countries, we'll be forced to sell ourselves to the person who has the boat as means of payment to get us from war to France. Yeah. So then we're going to get to France now, and then France are going to turn around and go, no, we don't take refugees here. We don't take immigrants here. We don't care that you're in war. We don't care that you're starving. We don't care that you've travelled in a dinghy across the boat and risked all your life and your family's life just to come to a safe place. We don't care that you haven't eaten. Are you seriously telling me that? Please, people need to wake the fuck up. Yeah, that is how they got to people's minds. They tickled the racist in people about this immigrant issue, and they used all of these false statements, and nobody checked about refugee. We should be looking after people. They aren't coming here and taking our jobs. They aren't coming here and overuse our system. We're overusing our system because none of us are looking after ourselves, and then we're expecting everyone else to fix the problem. Oh, I don't want that. Sorry, but it's true. It's true. We should be caring more about the people than anything else. Yeah, because we have got the jobs. We've got jobs in loads of industries where people don't want to do them. Where I live, yeah, there's huge PC World, Carphone Warehouse, distribution centres. And people come out, they are constantly recruiting, right? It's a hard job. It's minimum wage, right? Long hours, shift work. But there's always jobs there, and they struggle to fill them. And as a result of that, people come over from other countries. So there's loads of European workers there because people around here don't want to do those jobs. So it's not their fault for applying for a job, getting it, and then working really hard. And then not only that, they save their money, because on the people that work there, you know, they save money and send money home. To look after their family in whatever country they've come from. So it's not respect to them for working hard. We don't have a, you know, all of those lies that we're told, that the people were told, and that even worse, they bought. And now look at the mess that's been created by Brexit. It's caused nothing but problems. There is nothing good that's happened as a result of Brexit, and you're literally fooling yourself if you think there is. So, watch The Great Hack, because it will explain a lot about how they profile. And this is why social media is, you know, unless you're using it to make money, it uses you. Just giving it, you're feeding the machine. You're feeding the machine with information about yourself, and about your preferences, and about your choices, and what you like and what you don't like, and all of that information is being taken, and they're profiling you and then spitting back at you whatever they want to make you make certain choices. So watch it. Watch The Great Hack. Understand what's going on. And that's my rant for today. So yeah, love you all. I don't know if I'll do one later. There's no point in saying I will or I won't, and then I probably will. But I won't for the next. I do need to knuckle down now and get this stuff on and finished. Because I've got so many. I've started so many things. I need to finish them. So that's going to be my absolute focus for the next couple of weeks for sure. But love you guys. We can do this. Yeah, we absolutely can. There's no such word as can't. And I'll see you maybe later. Love you.